Ready to dive into some Chinese wisdom today. We're going to be exploring the ideas of Ma Weidu.
He's a really, I think, fascinating cultural scholar. He really makes you think about life and purpose and what it means to be truly free.
Yeah, and he uses this story, this anecdote about a young man who wrote him this letter.
And it was beautifully handwritten at that.
Yeah, and that detail, the handwriting, it's not just a throwaway, right? It kind of speaks to Ma Weidu's sensitivity, like his ability to spot potential even in the midst of struggle.
Yeah.
It sounds like he really connected with this young man's story, almost like he saw a glimmer of himself in this search for purpose.
Absolutely. And, it becomes even more poignant when you learn that, despite Ma Weidu's attempts to help, offering guidance, even job opportunities, the young man tragically took his own life.
It's heartbreaking. And you can almost feel the weight of that experience, I think, in Ma Weidu's voice as he uses it to launch into this idea of inner strength. And he doesn't shy away from the tough stuff, but he also emphasizes the inherent value of every individual. Have you ever felt that kind of despair, like you're just not good enough?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a universal feeling. And that's what makes Ma Weidu's message so powerful, I think. He reminds us that everyone faces challenges, but it's really our resilience, our ability to bounce back that truly defines us.
And he takes it a step further by introducing this 8-character guide for navigating life, which I think is brilliant in its simplicity.
Yeah.
He talks about self-confidence, resilience, kindness, conscientiousness, and tolerance. 4 qualities that these resonate across cultures, across time.
Exactly. And these aren't just buzzwords, right? He kind of digs deeper into each one. For example, he explains that conscientiousness isn't just about, being organized or meeting deadlines. It's about approaching everything with intention and integrity. He connects it to those ancient Chinese principles of careful beginnings, attentiveness to the end, and perhaps most importantly, integrity even when alone.
Whoa, integrity even when alone. That's powerful.
It is.
It makes me think about those moments when no one's watching and you're tempted to cut corners. It's in those moments that true character is revealed.
Precisely. And that level of self-awareness and self-discipline is what allows us to build the inner strength we need to really face life's inevitable challenges.
So we've been talking about inner strength and character, but where does financial freedom fit into all of this? It's something we all think about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Ma Weidu, he has a really interesting take on it. He doesn't shy away from the fact that we all desire a certain level of financial comfort, right? In fact, he actually breaks down this desire into 3 stages of life: seeking sustenance, seeking reputation, and seeking inner peace.
I like how he lays that out because it does feel like a very natural progression. You start by just trying to make ends meet, right? Then you're chasing success and recognition. But ultimately, it's about finding that inner peace. Where do you think you are on that spectrum?
Oh, that's the question, isn't it? And it's something that might shift throughout our lives too, I think. But I think Ma Weidu would argue that true financial freedom isn't really about which stage you're in, but really how you approach it. He actually pokes fun at this obsession with money by describing these different levels of freedom, starting with vegetable market freedom.
Right. Imagine being at the market and not even having to look at the prices, right? Just tossing whatever looks good into your basket.
Yeah.
That's a kind of freedom, I guess, but it's pretty surface level, wouldn't you say?
Totally. Then he talks about transportation freedom. So, do you have the freedom to, hop on a bike share, or are you taking a private jet with a double bed?
Yeah.
He's using these humorous examples to kind of highlight how our ideas of freedom are often tied to material possessions.
And then he throws in sea urchin freedom, which cracks me up every time I read that part. The idea that you're so wealthy you can eat sea urchins every day, it's absurd. But I think it also kind of underscores this point that, true freedom isn't about having an unlimited supply of luxury items.
Exactly, yeah. And to drive that point home, he shares this anecdote about a man who inherited a fortune from his father, $500 million, but still faces all sorts of restrictions. So it's a stark reminder that money alone doesn't buy you freedom.
It's like that saying, money amplifies who you are. If you're insecure, money will just make you more insecure. If you're generous, money gives you the opportunity to be even more generous. But it's not the source of those qualities.
Right. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. Ma Weidu seems to be suggesting that true financial freedom comes from a place of inner strength and self-awareness, not from a number in your bank account.
So if true financial freedom isn't just about the numbers, then what is it really about? It feels like Maui Waidu is pointing to something deeper, something more, I don't know, fulfilling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he seems to be advocating for a life of purpose, where financial security is important, but it's not like the ultimate goal. It's about finding something that gives your life meaning. Something that you're passionate about.
But he doesn't hand us that purpose on a silver platter, does he? It's more like he's giving us the tools and the encouragement to kind of discover it for ourselves.
Totally. Yeah, remember those 8 character traits that we talked about: self-confidence, resilience, conscientiousness, tolerance. Those are the qualities that will help you, navigate the challenges of life, pursue your passions, and ultimately find that sense of purpose.
It makes you think about what truly matters, doesn't it? Like if you were to define a meaningful life based on Malaidu's words, what would it look like for you?
That's a great question. For me, it would be a life lived with intention, with integrity, and a deep appreciation for both the simple things and the extraordinary opportunities that come our way. I think it's about facing challenges head on with resilience and embracing the journey, even with all its ups and downs.
Beautifully said. And you know what I find so inspiring about Mawaidu's message is that it's not about, achieving some picture-perfect state of constant happiness or having all the answers.
Right.
It's about embracing the messiness of life, the struggles, the uncertainties, and just finding those moments of joy and fulfillment along the way.
Yeah. And it's a good reminder that true freedom isn't about, escaping challenges or avoiding discomfort, right? It's about facing those things head on, armed with the inner strength and resilience that Mawaidu talks about.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the wisdom of Mawaidu, we leave you with this. What does a meaningful life look like to you? What are you passionate about? And how can you cultivate those 8 character traits to navigate your own unique journey with more purpose, with more intention? So keep those questions in mind as you go about your week. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.